Topping today's news, the multi-million-dollar U.S. Embassy nearing completion, the financial secretary explains government's more aggressive approach to collecting taxes, Eleuthera taking over the second spot in terms of air arrivals to the Bahamas, and the police taking more high-powered weapons, illegal weapons, off the streets. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jorino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. The new $310 million state-of-the-art United States Embassy located on East Street North and Shirley Street is on schedule for completion of the constructural works by the spring of 2024. U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Usha Pitts shared the much-anticipated news and her excitement for the new embassy that will not only provide more space for its staff, but forge a sense of closeness with the Bahamian people.
You know, the RBPF is just a few streets over. Parliament is just right down the hill. So it gives us a chance to really, be among our contacts, among the Bahamian people, and be able to interact directly instead of being out, behind some large wall. So the placement is important, and the placement is also symbolic of our relationship with the Bahamas. We have been here since day one. You all are celebrating your 50th year of independence this year, but guess what? It is also the 50th year of U.S. diplomatic relations with the Bahamas. So I'm incredibly pleased that we're about to move into this building that really represents that close relationship with the Bahamas. So it makes me incredibly proud and gratified to look forward to that day. I was not part of the decision about where this embassy went or how big it was going to be, but I am very, very excited to see it coming up. It's a building that I am incredibly proud of that reflects the U.S.-Bahamian relationship.
During a press tour this morning, media got a chance to witness the infrastructural works of the building, exploring areas of the highly secure 5-story building that most will never see. Chief Project Director Stephen Ziegenfuss giving more details on the clean energy that will power this mega facility.
It starts with construction. Then the building itself, we begin with a heavily insulated building with energy efficient equipment inside. You'll see LED lights everywhere. The air conditioning system is very efficient. Right now we have temporary air conditioning in here so we can get the furniture going, but the permanent air conditioning system will be a very energy efficient piece of equipment. In the back we have solar panels that will be generating electricity. Because we're pretty much a day operation, we don't have any storage, but we'll be generating electricity. We also have canopies over the government-owned vehicles, which will keep the vehicles cooler so that when they're driven, they don't need to run the air conditioning as much because they're parked in the shade.
The building will also be outfitted with a rainwater collection system and an on-site sewage treatment system that will be used to irrigate plants and landscape. The building is also designed to withstand all weather conditions.
You know, embassies are not hotels. I've been saying that quite a bit. Our presence here is expected to be here, and this building is expected to exist for 100 years. So we have a 100-year life cycle for a lot of things. And that starts with these concrete panels that are on the outside. They're either made of ultra-high performance concrete or they're glass reinforced. They're both reinforced with fiberglass, not steel. So the steel won't rust, corrode, and then pop the concrete. On the roof, if maybe afterwards it seems like it's sunny, we can go up to the roof. We have what's called an upside-down roof. The waterproofing membrane is against the concrete, and then on top we have concrete pavers. It makes for a very durable roof that we can walk on. The roof will have antennas up there, so we'll be up there a lot for maintenance and for other things. If you look around the compound, all the exposed metal is silver. That silver is stainless steel. Again, we're in a marine environment, and we're trying to stop corrosion.
The 90,000 square feet infrastructure will accommodate over 200 Americans and Bahamians that work under the U.S. mission, which includes Customs, Border Patrol, pre-clearance officers, DEA, and FBI. The new location will begin full operation for the public by fall of 2024. Until then, the current U.S. Embassy on Queen Street will remain in operation until it is decommissioned. Friday was the graduation of the first National Youth Guard cohort. that took place in Grand Bahama and involved recruits from 10 islands. The National Youth Guard is a program championed by the Davis administration as an investment into Bahamian youth. The program is focused on equipping young people with the tools needed to assist the nation during national emergencies such as natural disasters. Prime Minister Philip Davis flew to Grand Bahama for the graduation ceremony and says creating a National Youth Guard was a no-brainer.
Creating a National Youth Guard only made sense. It only made sense to train our young people and equip them with important high-level skills to ensure that the Bahamas is better suited to respond to national emergencies. Can you imagine how many lives could have been saved if we had a National Youth Guard in 2019? I believe that this initiative is among the most important on our roster of goals for this administrative term. Investing in our youth and investing in the safety of our country is of utmost importance. These efforts support our blueprint for change, which details aggressive actions to kickstart transformation of our society and in the way we recover and rebuild.
From 275 applicants, only 64 recruits made the cut, with 38% of them being female, and most of them being former members of other service organizations like Rangers, Girl Guides, Youth Empowerment, and the Salvation Army. The Prime Minister expressed his gratitude to the new recruits, their parents, and their partners.
The government of the Bahamas is staunchly committed to doing all it can to implement effective disaster prevention measures, and we are thankful to you and all of our public and private partners for their willingness and enthusiasm toward the same. My heart swells when I look at you all, the first graduating class from the National Youth Guard. I am so very proud of all of you.
The months of training received by the recruits was a collaborative effort between private and public agency, all of whom are first responders in times of disaster. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, and the Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, were also present for the graduation ceremony in congratulating the recruits. Eleuthera now ranks second to New Providence in foreign air arrivals to the islands of the Bahamas. This coming from Director of Aviation in the Ministry of Tourism, Dr. Kenneth Roma, who says this milestone will increase Family Island investor confidence.
But overall, 2022 performance, Eleuthera actually edged out all of the Family Islands. So I do think when we look at the opportunities for investments, it's going to speak about the confidence investors should have in touristic development in Eleuthera. Eleuthera has been doing exceptionally well. A critical component of the address is actually going to be focusing on what the Deputy Prime Minister refers to as the renaissance of our Family Islands. And that's important. We do know that at the beginning of March, during his mid-year budget contribution, that the Deputy Prime Minister announced what we refer to now as the most aggressive infrastructural development program in airports ever in the history of our country.
Eleuthera is targeted for the development of 3 airports, as the island has been struggling with airlift challenges. Dr. Roma reveals that the island is a hot topic among major airlines looking to add airlift into the islands of the Bahamas.
We have been speaking just over the past month with airlines, foreign airlines, who are going to be increasing additional airlift into Eleuthera. We've been advocating significantly again for foreign air arrivals. We do know that Eleuthera's growth is constrained by capacity. So airlines want to come to Eleuthera. They're speaking about the product deficiencies. They're speaking about available capacity for additional room inventory. They're looking at the state of the airports, North Eleuthera, Roxong, and Governor's Harbour. 3 of those airports are actually targeted for aggressive development. So we'll speak about what that development template looks like. We might be able to present some concepts for airside and landside development. And we're going to tell Eleutherans what will be the benefits of having airports in Eleuthera, targeted airports in North Eleuthera, and also Roxanne and Governor's Harbor.
In light of this, Dr. Romo notes that airlines have also been speaking of product deficiencies and available capacity for additional room inventory on Eleuthera.
So I think there has to be innovation as it relates to product. Certainly second homes, Airbnbs, has to feature prominently into discussions as it relates to supplementing your traditional hotel room inventory. And then we have to have candid discussions as it relates to the price points. The Bahamas, again, is a market that caters to your luxury visitors. And I'm speaking more specifically about your foreign air arrivals. There has to be differentiation in the types of visitors who are coming to our...
And finally, in this segment, a minor delay in bi-weekly payments for participants in the Public Service Professional Engagement Program was addressed late last evening. This coming from a press statement from the Ministry of Public Service, which states that due to delays in submissions to the Ministry of Public Service, the payments were unable to be posted on March 31st. This resulted in a 3 to 4 day delay in payments. The ministry says the Public Service Professional Engagement Program participants are valued members of the public service workforce, and a high priority is being placed on all affected individuals for the efficient processing of payments. The statement goes on to assure its members that the ministry's objective is to ensure that these kinds of delays are a thing of the past. Public service members were expected to